This is the Giraffes Don't Eat Steak podcast, a show that brings you marketing stories, tips, hints, and much more. A treat for those who want to succeed in business or marketers who just want to learn.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, Alex, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So we're in spring now.
Are we? Doesn't feel like it yet.
Wasn't it officially spring recently? What
Yeah,
was the?
I think it is, but it's still raining and miserable, so I'm not counting it yet.
Let's have a look, see what the spring. It's 20th of March is the official start of spring in the UK.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
would
my
love
question,
some sun. That would work.
have you put any plants? Have you planted anything this year?
I have actually. So I planted, I've got two tomatoes growing and I've got two cucumbers growing. And so my avocados, I've got two avocados that I grew from seeds that are still going strong.
Well, they take years.
I know, but I mean, they're 3 years old already, so that's good, right?
Yeah.
And I did plant some coriander, but it basically died in 2 days, so that didn't work.
Mm.
It needs sun, right? It needs sun.
Yeah. Don't avocado trees need a warm, steady climate?
Yeah, they're indoor plants. They live inside above the
They live next to the
radiator.
radiator
Yeah,
and a duvet.
they're inside. And then I also got a chili, no, not a chili, a curry leaf little plant. I love the smell of fresh curry
Ooh,
leaves. But again, it's going to have to be an indoor plant. It's not going
but
to
it hasn't
survive
leaved
outside.
yet. Hasn't
It's
leaved yet.
got it's got some lovely little leaves still.
Can you smell them, or do you have to dry it before they
No,
smell?
you can smell it. Oh, it's wonderful.
Nice. I've got the plant that's behind me. It's a succulent, but weirdly it smells of curry.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing or it's dying or it's got some, I don't know. It smells of curry. It's quite weird. Don't really know why. I'm not going to eat it though.
Okay. I don't know. It could be a new flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
But I wanted to share with you. Look what I got. I got a little toy giraffe, which I
no,
thought could be
nice.
our mascot for our podcast.
Love it. But what's her name going to be?
Oh, I haven't thought of a name yet.
Is it a female or a male?
Oh, you ask such hard questions. I don't know.
Well,
Okay, well, that's something to think about. If you
I kind
have,
of feel like it should be. I don't know. When I think of giraffes, I think of females because they've got beautiful eyelashes.
okay, we can make her a girl. She can be a girl giraffe.
And should it be alliteration,
Like
as
what?
in
Like
GG, like
Gertruida. Gertie. Gertie.
no way, no way. I don't know, like Gina the giraffe.
Gina the giraffe. It's okay. We can think about it. Not sure.
Maybe the listeners can give us
Name our giraffe. Shall we?
name the
Okay.
giraffe.
We'll run when this episode airs. We will run a name the giraffe contest
I love
on
it.
LinkedIn. How's that? We'll come up with a name giraffe.
Cool.
But it made me think about mascots in general because so I got. See, I'm going to call her Gina now. See, now I'm stuck. But anyway, no. Whatever her name is,
Gertrude.
Gertrude, even
That's
worse.
a terrible. That's no, not a terrible name. It's a difficult name to say, Gertrude. It doesn't flow out of the mouth
Yeah.
easily.
So I'm not sure what we'll use the mascot for, but I have seen such awesome uses of little mascots, even when in my head it shouldn't work, like there's no connection. And I actually ended up talking to my sister about mascots in general, which was quite a nice chat. And the example I have is I'm gonna share is maybe I shouldn't share. I don't know. Anyway, there's I don't know what the rules are, but Genesis uses mascots very effectively. They've got a little teddy bear mascot that is at
Mm.
all their booths, all their stands. He's got a little T-shirt with Genesis on it, like, and it's just that people take selfies with this teddy bear, like it's just all over, right? And in my head, what does technology have to do with teddy bears, right? So I like connecting. I love connecting the dots and making it all hang together. So that it jars a little bit, like what does it have to do? But it works, right? It's little giveaways. People look for it. They have selfies with it.
Yeah,
What is
the mascot comes in many forms. It could just be in the logo, right? For one.
okay? Okay.
So, for example, Michelin tires, the Michelin
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
Michelin star. That's a mascot in the logo, and I'm 100% sure. I'm not okay. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have one. I haven't seen it, but I'm 99.9% sure that Michelin, for example, have a toy of the. It's kind of like looks like a
It's
banded something. I don't know what it is.
I don't
It's a
know. I
human.
immediately thought about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? And like Disney with Mickey Mouse, even like McDonald's, Ronald McDonald. They're all
Oh,
mascots.
the
The
clown with the big
clown, yeah.
feet.
I've actually, so it sounds like I've got a good knowledge of mascots, but I've cheated and I Googled it. So,
Oh,
but there's lots like Tony the Tiger, Frosties, the Green Giant. They're all of them. And then obviously you have the other insurance company, the Meerkat.
oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. And we had a client a couple of years back who had a dog that was in the office every day, and we recommended to them because their clients love their dog. Remember that the dog
Yeah.
becomes the mascot in their communications
Yeah.
to talk about thoughts from. I can't remember what the dog's name was, but you remember that? That was cute.
You're just overwhelmed by the cuteness of the
It was
dog.
such a
No
cute
idea what the name
dog.
is.
Can't remember its name.
The least productive day at the client's office ever for you,
No,
Erica.
we did a good day. We did a good workshop, but yes, the dog was very calming. Was good.
But yeah, they can be very, and especially if they become somewhat of a collector's item. So like the meerkat, and then people are crazy for those. I know people who have got hundreds of them. I don't know how do they have hundreds of them? I don't know how, but they do. And it's a certain
And they've got it's got a baby now, right? There's a little one. So that
yeah, I mean
started with the two, and then now there's a little baby one.
yeah, but they have like the two main ones. I can't remember what their names are. Like Igor, Alexander. Alexi, something like that. Anyway, but then they put them in different things, like in space or in a racing car or a
Hmm.
sailor or something like that. They put them in different professions or something like that, and then they become limited editions, and it's like what we were talking about the other day with Parkinson and his pen. Instead of with that,
Yeah.
it's like if you get I honestly can't remember how it works, but I think it's if you get a quote through them or through the search engine or something like that, then you get a free
Toy.
Oleg. His name's Oleg. No?
Yeah, that's one. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get that, and it's like, oh, I haven't got the one of him in space, and then it becomes a little collector. And I know because I've got some family friends who do that.
Oh.
Um, and it's also the same. I also know somebody who is mad with cruises and like P&O cruises, I think it is, or something like that. And they get a mascot as well, a little teddy bear, P&O mascot for every cruise they go on. And
Hmm.
they spend a lot of money for that teddy because each cruise is about £3,000. So
So, so from a marketing strategy perspective, how would you start? Like, feels like other than me who just saw a cute giraffe toy and bought it, right? There needs to be a little bit more strategy between are we having a company mascot or not? What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, it's something that becomes part of your story and your branding strategy. So again, if we look at compare the meerkat, they became an integral part of they were the face because they were in
Mm.
every single advert and every campaign that they ran with a different scenario of them in space or whatever it is, that then becomes because they also their strategy is like we need to make a piece of comedy, something fun and interesting, and people and
And
it
and disruption and noise in what's normally a boring market insurance, right?
yeah, exactly. And creating something more than just an advert, creating content that people just kind of like to watch because it's fun, it's funny, and then start creating demand around it. Okay, you can get one of these, but it's limited edition. We've only got 5,000 of them, for example, or was only running for 2 months. If you make if you use our services, we'll send you a free one. It becomes part of their story. It becomes a part of their identity, who they are in every single piece of campaigning that they're doing, every piece of content that they're doing. They're the centerpiece of it.
Mm. So, I mean, I get the what,
Basically, become a celebrity.
but I get the what. This is still the what you talk about, right? The how. If you're the marketing manager at XYZ and you decide we need or want to use a mascot, where do you start? It's a toughie, right? You need to choose one. And I suppose this is where it's difficult because my brain is all about connection. So for me, our podcast is Giraffes Don't Eat Steak. Therefore, a giraffe mascot works. How did you get from compare the market insurance to a meerkat, right?
Because
How do you get to that connection?
I think it's more of personally, I guess maybe there's lots of theories, but I think it's just it could have happened by a complete mistake. Someone they could have been having a meeting with a partner and someone just said by accident, compare the meerkat. Oh, sorry, compare the market.
Yeah,
That's
could it
quite
be?
funny.
We don't
That's quite
know. In
funny.
fact,
That's,
that's if anyone knows the story, let us know. That would be interesting. So yeah, and it's about it, like our client with the dog in the office. That was kind of a an easy one to kind of integrate because there's a reason for it.
but
How
then
else?
if we look at like um the Colonel from KFC, I think the story is like let's make base it on somebody. I'm not sure if it's actually a fictional person, but it's like, or if it was a real person.
Well,
But
isn't that the
anyway,
person whose recipe it was?
yeah, they based it on something, and then he became the face and the mascot because he's just a cartoon version, and he's in the adverts, he's in everything. I think you get them in the little toys back in the day, like the Happy Meal things.
Mm,
The mascot is part of the story of the brand.
yeah. So I guess for me, look around. Is there something that's around you that's obvious connection, easy to morph? I mean, my sister and I had this long chat about the teddy bear because that's also easy. A teddy bear with a t-shirt and your logo on, right? That's easy to do.
Mm.
But the reason we had to chat about the teddy bear is because I'm trying to figure out who was that person who decided that a bear is a child's toy. Because
Yeah,
a bear in the wild, my sister in San Francisco, they had some bears in their backyard, and they were not cuddly or friendly at all. So somebody made that leap, right? That bears are now synonymous with children's toys and cuddliness. But anyway, that's an aside. Um, so yeah, step one, I think, is decide on the mascot. Look around for how you may not connect the actual mascot, but how it can link to the story in some way.
yeah,
And then yes, how do you infiltrate all your communications with this mascot that that the messages you're sharing are from them?
yeah. And it could be also something that's integral to the product. Like Let's think of like a chili sauce, like hot sauce,
Yeah.
and your mascot could be a personified chili.
Chili. Yeah.
So it's part of the product. It's an integral part of it, and you can bring it to life. That main aspect of the product.
Yeah. That's the connection, right? That's so I look
Yeah.
for that's what I'm saying. I'm more of a connector person. I like to connect stuff. But what I'm seeing working means it doesn't have to connect as long as you can connect it in your story.
No, absolutely. And then in
Um,
that case, it happened because of a terminology that I guess you coined that that illustrates what you shouldn't be trying to do in marketing. You shouldn't be trying to force feed a giraffe steak because they don't eat it. It's just a way of illustrating what not to do in marketing, and it became part of the business. It became part of your talks that you were doing
yeah,
uh, through our business, and it was starting to gain traction. It's like, okay, well, this is relatable. It works. People understand, get it when I say that. Let's do a podcast. What should the name be? Well, the phrase that seems to be sticking and working is versus giraffes don't eat steak. Well, let's use that. So it can just be something that organically grows within your business.
absolutely.
So it may not even be your wake up one day and say we need a mascot. No, it's opportunistic.
Yeah. No, that's true. Right. Well, I'm off to go and investigate. I want to know the story of how the meerkat came about. So I'm going to go and dig into that a little bit, my detective hat, because now I really need to know.
Yeah, and we need some names for our giraffe.
Absolutely. Share and it's our, we've decided it's a girl, so stick to girl names. Although, is there such a thing as girl names anymore? Probably not, right? But help us name our giraffe, for our giraffes don't eat steak. Well, good to chat, Alex. We'll see
Good
you
chatting.
later.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
That wraps up this episode of Giraffes Don't Eat Steak. Thanks for joining us. I hope you found value in our discussion and got some new ideas to apply to your own business. Tune in next week for another round of marketing insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate you listening. Catch you next time on Giraffes Don't Eat Steak.